And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win is a birthday Who Would Win. I actually have two people gaming this, but only one of them is their birthday, as far as I know. That sentence didn't make sense, but you understood. Only one of the two people who suggested this particular Who Would Win. It's their birthday today. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's Jonine a Galaxy? uh, whose birthday it is today, who suggested this, but also Gotrix actually suggested this one as well. And that is the Scarlet King, the one of the overall arching big bads of the SCP universe, versus, and I want to be sure I get the name right here, because pronouncing some of these guys' names is difficult. Shub-Niggurath? Shub-Niggurath? From H.P. Lovecraft. Now, I've had the Scarlet King on here several times. Scarlet King is essentially one of the big overarching villains, antagonists of the SCP universe. Now, what the Scarlet King actually is, the way he's described is as follows. You know what the Scarlet King is. He is a creation of swirling anomalies. Of so many different times all over the world. He is the memory of the world that is lost. Let me get a bit more of a voice going. The pre-modern world made manifest in the form of hatred for modernity. What the hell is modernity? I'm not familiar with that word, modernity. The new and humanism and smiling coldness that marks our day to day existence, forged from a perfect balance of irreconcilable anomalies and our breaking minds. He is an entity created by the overwhelming and unavoidable tension of the howl of the old world and faced with a cold gray purposelessness new. He is the revenge of our fallen past. He is the idea in an ancient world where discord, which discards and fetishes it. So, yeah. The Scarlet King as a being it's still a little hard to describe what he is exactly as a being. However, it's more or less described as this. The best way I can kind of describe him is this. He is a being, and he's a sentient being. But he's a being that is, as they kind of say, formed from causalities and different timelines. He's not a corporeal being in like the truest sense. He's not like, it doesn't have a physical form. He can manifest one, but he exists regardless of that. He's more or less kind of the personification of hatred, of negativity, hatred, mindless, violent. Everything about that is kind of what manifests him. And he is he's described as an old god from the abyss, and was shown to be cruel, manipulative, and nihilistic individual. He pretty much just wants the end of existence. He's that kind of individual. And as such, he will go to whatever lengths he needs to bring about the end of days, more or less. He's kind of the SCP world's version of Satan, but to a much higher degree. Actually, you know what? He's kind of like almost like a pure version, like a sentient version of entropy. Kind of, where the idea is that all energy disappears after event in a certain amount of time. And before we go into his abilities, it's very simply put, his abilities are yes. Now, to be fair, his abilities listed are as such: pregnancy inducement, which goes to some other SCPs, reality warping, immortality, blood manipulation, fire manipulation, incorporeality, so he's incorporeal, suffering empowerment, interdimensional travel, possession, mind manipulation, causality manipulation, reality dreaming, and nature manipulation. More or less, you should know right now, all the abilities that he has, more or less, Shub-Niggurath has as well. They're eldritch beings of like some very high caliber. But that's less to the point of what we're dealing with here, and more kind of expressing that this would not be a fight that we can really go into detail who's going to be doing what and how they're going to be doing it. This is going to be a fight on simply the level of power we're dealing with. The Scarlet King's true power, though, is described as being unknown. because it's been said to kind of fluctuate on many levels. In some cases, he can threaten all of the multiverse. In other cases, he's actually a lot weaker than a lot of other beings that can do the same thing. He's apparently been able to defeat both McCain and Nahash, in an account he was described as being weaker than his aunt, Yad-Dabaloth, and his brother Death. In SCP-6765, the King's Corpse is shown to be capable of mass destruction and had power over blood and the memories stored in it. But the problem with the Scarlet King is that he's a living idea born from humanity's dissatisfaction with the lifeless modern world and a desire to return to the old ways of life. He's created and shaped by humanity and acting as a predominantly the pre-modern. What the hell is this word? I'm sure this is. You know what? I'm doing something right now. I'm gonna find out if this is a goddamn word, because this does not. This looks like a word that was made up. And yeah, I know there's the whole joke that all words are made up letters, but I mean, this looks like something someone made up just to sound smart. Hold on, I am trying to see if this is a word or not. Okay, are you a word? Let's find out. Okay, so of relating or originating in or being an era before modern one. Pre-modernity. Okay. I guess it's a word. Well, hold on. No. Hold on. Pre-modern is a word. Okay, no, pre-modernity. Pre-modernity. Oh, God. Who makes up these words? Pronunciation was always difficult for me as a kid to begin with. Having words like this doesn't make it any easier. But anyway, yeah, he exists within the. As a result, he basically exists as an entity in the non-sphere, the human's collective conscious. In essence, as long as humanity exists, so does he. That is the gist of it. This is a guy that, unless you basically destroy the collective thought of him, he cannot die. It's basically, well, I know there's a term for it. I call it conceptual immortality, but there are, or embodiment immortality, that there is a legit immortality term for it. But it's in essence, as long as you represent something, or as long as a belief system exists around you, you can't die truly. So yeah, so his power is difficult to kind of quantify. Even if we highball it, he is a multiversal level threat, though. Shub-Niggurath is a third generation elder god. To be precise, she is the daughter of the Darkness, who is a child of Azeroth, who is the end-all be-all top H.P. Lovecraft being. She's like third generation, but that does not make her weak. In fact, she is considered to be an outer god, like an outerversal god. She is also known as known as a fertility god. She is a fertility goddess and also called the Black Goat of the Woods with 1,000 young. In essence, she is the mother of monsters. She is a corrupt fertility. She's kind of treated as a corrupt fertility goddess that births terrible nightmares. And as I said, that it's anything you can do, I can do better scenario in this fight. Everything that the Scarlet King can do and anything that she can do, the other can pretty much do, with maybe some minor exceptions that probably wouldn't really play into the fight. That said, there is a difference in personality. Now, to say that any of the Cthulhu outer gods, elder gods, whatever you want to call them, are peaceful would be a very, very misjudged interpretation of them. However, when it comes to a lot of outer gods, at least like a giant chunk of the outer gods, we are so insignificant. We're talking about outer gods that exist beyond even the multiverse. That's what we're talking about here. So you got our Earth, you got our solar system, you got the galaxy, you got the universe, you got the multiverse. Then you go beyond that, and that's where they are. We are so insignificant that she doesn't even really acknowledge our existence at all. At best, she might go, oh yeah, humans exist, whatever. But that's the thing, is that she just kind of does her own thing. So and as far as I know, while some of the outer gods are quite violent, she's not necessarily violent with her own kin. She's not necessarily peaceful either, but generally speaking, a lot of the outer gods, or a lot of the Cthulhu mythos gods, the H.P. Lovecraft gods, they don't really do much to challenge each other that much. I mean, yes, occasionally there are wars between them, all that, but there's not much in terms of battles because they're all just comparable and can't be killed by any standard means. Let's see here. I'm just looking through like her brief bio here to see if she in fact has had any fight at all. The Black Ghost, Sociota, Magamia, location. Like again, I can't find anything where she's. I'm not well versed in the in-depth lore of H.P. Lovecraft, so I don't know for certain if she's come into conflict with any other elder gods. But what we do know is that she is still, well, not the top of the pack. She is she dwarfs Cthulhu in power. Cthulhu, as powerful as Cthulhu is, and he is powerful, is basically the equivalent of a human to her. That's how weak Cthulhu is compared to her. So the question simply comes down to who could, let's say, maybe not erase the existence of, but who could theoretically take down the other first in whatever manner it would be? Actual destruction, existence erasure, sealing away, whatever you want to call it. Well, the Scarlet King would definitely be the aggressor in the fight because the Scarlet King just wants to destroy everything. If we're highballing him to a high multiversal, he still power-wise comes up short to outer gods who exist outside even the multiverse. So already on a tier level, he's already at least a tier below her in power. That's not to say, though, that he would necessarily be completely defenseless or could not deal damage. Just because the tier levels are one below, and that's still a higher tier level, doesn't mean you can't deal damage or theoretically win. Perfect example, a planet-level individual could theoretically be a Starbuster individual. Now, it would not be easy. No, actually, no, better example would be a Moonbuster could be a Planet Buster. It wouldn't be easy, but they could do it. Basically, the tier below does not initially mean you're going to lose. It doesn't help you in winning, but it doesn't mean you're going to lose. The issue would just simply come down to the fact that the Scarlet King exists thanks to the collective everything from humanity, which means if Shub-Niggurath ever just decides to, she could just wipe out all of humanity and call it a day, and then recreate it in her own image if you really wanted to. In essence, she could theoretically wipe out humanity. Humanity could come back, and Scarlet King would never have existed. Now, granted, whether or not the Scarlet King could come back simply by humanity being brought back is debatable. But even so, the fact that she could just wipe out humanity at any point in time if she really wanted to, kind of speaks to, I think, the difference in power, because even though he could do it, he needs humanity to actually exist, is kind of the weird catch-22 here. Beyond that, though, in terms of raw power, like I said, everything they can do, the other can do as well. Now, when you amp that up to someone who's more powerful than you, well, you can try your best, but she's just going to be able to outdo you at every turn. And then at any point, she's either going to figure out a way to erase your existence, which would still not be easy, or just seal you away in some sort of void, or maybe even swallow your essence to keep you contained within herself. Unfortunately, when it comes to like H.P. Lovecraft, and we're talking about verses, H.P. Lovecraft, and particularly Outer Gods, go way beyond a lot of hierarchies. Like even like a lot of the DC Universe characters would have trouble with a lot of the gods in the higher levels of tiers of power in H.P. Lovecraft. Like, for example, Superman, I'm going to be honest, Superman could kick the shit out of Cthulhu, no problem. Yeah, Cthulhu's powerful and has some morality warping ability, but Superman's fought way more powerful individuals. And Superman has broken, like, the World Forge. And that's like bullshit levels of power. That said, these characters actually are characters who could give Superman a legit problem because they are that powerful. So, and Superman is broken as it is. So, unfortunately for those who are rooting for the Scarlet King, I would probably go with Shub-Niggurath. Shub-Niggurath, sorry. But that is just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not as well versed in H.P. Lovecraft as Mark would be. Mark's a big H.P. Lovecraft guy. And Scarlet King I've done multiple times, so I do have a general outlier of where his highball is. But even his highball is not as good as her low ball, basically. So, yeah, at least from what I know and what I've found. I would go Shub-Niggurath, but that is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It's a week of what ifs, so I got some what ifs to record. I got tomorrow's videos to record, too. So, gonna have a busy day today. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time.